Hey everybody, it's Leroy from Leroy Gaming. It is Friday, August the 25th, and just 11 days after my birthday, Larian Studios has decided to drop a big juicy one on us with patch number 1 for Baldur's Gate 3. There's over 1,000 changes here. We're gonna go over the first part of the post and some of the non-spoilery, more meaty elements that have been updated. And if you can't tell by the post, kind of picture and background, it's clear that Larian Studio thought it was very important that Vertically Challenged did not have any issues when it came to locking lips with some of the hotter characters in the game. So let's see what Larian Studios has to say. Now, do note that I will have a link below to the full patch notes. So if you want to see the giant post of everything, that's where you're gonna want to go if you have maybe an hour of time to read. Now let's see the post. Hello everyone. Today we're releasing our first major patch for Baldur's Gate 3, addressing over 1,000 bugs, balancing flow issues, and much more. Patch 1 is too big for us for our usual patch notes due to Steam's character limit. So for the full notes, head over to this link, and again I'll get that shared with you guys. It's funny, that means I also can't put any patch notes in the description because that character limit is even smaller on YouTube. So what can you expect from this update? Well, we've eliminated issues like NPCs who sometimes spot you when they really shouldn't be able to. And I do think this is a big one. I've tried to be stealthy in this game, and it's so annoying when you're trying to kind of get in and not get spotted while you're in the red zone, which, by the way, is when the stealth checks come into play for the most part. So hopefully after this patch it'll be a little bit better. And let's see, floating items like mugs and newspapers that should abide by the laws of gravity. I didn't run into that myself, but who knows. And a conclusion to Shadowheart's romance scene not triggering for some players among others. With expansive systems come many unknowns, and so our support team continues to work with you to relay any issues to us. So please don't hesitate to reach out with further reports. And then it continues to state, patch 1 also tackles a few visual bugs, sprinkles on more post-launch polish. We're bringing back Short King Summer with better kissing contact for short races. There we go. And important here, it says we will not be waiting long for patch 2, which is right around the corner. This update will feature significant performance improvements, but we'll go into more details about that closer to its release. And then they give us some stats here, which is pretty shocking. In the meantime, did you know that collectively you've played over 200 million hours of Baldur's Gate 3 since launch? That's over 22,000 years. My goodness, we are using a lot of our free time on this game. The most popular class choice is currently Paladin, not shocking since they're also the most OP class, I think, with some of the multi-class options. Followed by Sorcerer, not surprising. Well, the award for least popular class goes to the poor Cleric. Now, I don't know, I like the Clerics. They've got some interesting combinations, but it kind of makes sense too. Paladin, Sorcerers are also charisma-based characters. If you're going to be using your main character to do conversation interactions, then I'm not surprised these are high. Wouldn't be surprised if like Bard, also a charisma class, and Warlock, maybe those may be up there as well, but they didn't share more info. And it says humans and elf characters reign supreme in a Fey run. I'm shocked about humans because I don't think they have very good features compared to some of the others, but the elves and half-elves I definitely see. But granted, I guess you could say that in this game, race doesn't have nearly as big of an impact as some other games or classic D&D. So yeah, I guess people can relate to humans for some odd reason. No idea why. And then I say followed swiftly and unsurprisingly by half-elves. Yep. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we find dwarfs, gnome, Githyanki, and halflings. So people don't like role-playing short and or ugly characters. Yeah, I guess we shouldn't be surprised, and we shouldn't be surprised who the least favorite follower is either, or companion, I guess, in this game, as we call them. We get it. They're not exactly the most ethereal beauties of the realm, but they'd still form a rad metal band. For now, as we focus on fixes. Thank you for playing Baldur's Gate 3 and continue to share this adventure with us. Awesome. So gonna talk about some of the updates here. I'm gonna skip these kind of crashing bugs, etc. You can read over them. There's a lot of spoilers, as you can see, the blackout, so I don't want to focus on that in this, in case you don't want to be spoiled. But let's go ahead and take a look at the balance issues, because I think this will impact everybody. So they made gold bounties more generous in several containers across the game. So that's really quite good. Hopefully there's some of the Act 1 and 2 areas, because that's where I find you can definitely be kind of low on gold. Increases players' hit point bonus in Explorer mode from plus 50% to plus 100. Okay, I get it. Explorer mode's supposed to be easy mode just for the story, so might as well make it so that people are just about invincible. Fix the free cast tadpole power to properly reset on long rest. It's creating infinite spell slots and sorcery points for sorcerers. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't utilize that. Now, I do want to ask anybody for comments below. Are you using the tadpole powers? I don't know. There's 2 passive ones I like early on, and then if you go real deep, there's some cool options. I don't want to spoil it, but I don't really use them that much. I don't find that many of them that interesting, except for some of the extreme ones on the outer layer. So definitely love to hear your comments below. Then it says Arcane Trickster's Mage Hand, Ledger Damien, and just like in my guide, I cannot pronounce that. Now does not expire until destroyed and does not lose invisibility on long rest. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice quality of life. You no longer have multiple Mage Hands active at the same time. That makes sense. The shield reaction can no longer be used while silenced. That makes sense too. Let's see here. Fix not being able to create a 5th level spell slot from sorcery points. College of Lore Bards can now pick which additional skill proficiency they receive. That is huge. Bards that already of this College of Lore need to respec. That makes sense. So that gives them a lot more freedom if you really want to kind of be a skill monkey of sorts. Made sure proper spell DC is applied during multiclassing. So I haven't noticed bugs with this, but then again, it's something that could be easily missed unless you're checking chat logs or for damage logs, etc. Ooh, and then added spells to the Bard's Magical Secrets feature. Well, I'm glad I haven't made the Bard guide yet. So a bunch of spells here. I'm not going to read them all, but a bunch of spells, as you can see, have been added. Club of the Hill Giant Strength that increases strength to 90 and not some puny 15. There you go. That's nice. I never actually found that item. Interesting. Fix the bug of ranged enemies reapplying Hunter's Mark constantly, even when not needed. Warlocks packed to the Chain Summon now gets to use their extra attack more than once. That's helpful. I actually like the Imp Summon for him. It's got double sight, so if you like playing in darkness, it's actually not a bad option. I recommend it as a viable option to the Blade Pact. So fixed NPC sometimes spotting you even if you're not supposed to be able to. Yep. Dance Macabre ghouls will no longer kill you when you long rest. Well, that's good to know. That would be rough. If you make a successful saving throw against the poison, you will now gain immunity to a specific poison for 2 turns. That's really nice. This is especially if you like running through poison areas, and they would just spam you with basically checks until you inevitably get poisoned, which is rough. We're not going to spoiler there. Meanlocks are now immune to the Shadow Curse. Okay. More spoilers. Helping Minthara remember how to use her weapons. That's helpful. And then, let's see here. Fixed NPC attacking outside of their turn when combat starts during forced turn-based mode. I ran into this a bunch of times too, so I didn't realize this was a hard bug, but good to know they fixed that. Let's see here. You have a bunch of visibility, usability changes, visual changes, cinematic scenes. Not going to go over that. Okay, let's look at loot and trade. Traders who stock dies now also stock die removers. Maid Lady Esther available to trade after you've completed her quest. Fish vendors now have more fish to sell. That new bait must be doing the trick. Popper, the kobold at the circus, now sells more oddities. You know what? In my good playthrough, they did not let me in there, so you know what? I never even went to the circus. Might have to do another playthrough. Lady Jaina will now have artsy items to trade, and then skeletons around the Selunite outpost no longer have fresh food in their inventory. That makes sense. Losi's portrait is now reachable, Chief. Cool. So, and this is just some of the updates. There's way, way, way more. So definitely check out the link below to learn more about the update. I look forward to checking all this out. Definitely look for more guide videos coming soon, and I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date on the news. Again, make sure to drop a like. Would love some feedback from you guys in the comments. And if you want to see more RPG news, including Baldur's Gate 3, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.